Harry and Meghan wave a royal goodbye.
Reborn in the USA.
Harry and Meghan's plan to fund royal breakaway.
Massive 4-day sale.
Yep, Prince Harry and Meghan's declaration is throwing up all kinds of reactions, from support
I think it's great. Good for them.
to condemnation
I think it's completely irresponsible.
to total indifference.
I'm not overly bothered, to tell you the truth.
With the palace caught off guard by the announcement, insiders say the Queen has ordered staff to find a workable solution in days, not weeks.
Queen and Prince Charles are very, very concerned and understand that senior members of the royal family incandescent with rage.
Harry and Meghan's move likely won't affect their son. British law means Archie inherits his dad's titles regardless of whether Harry gives them up. The royals don't let you go that easily.
It sometimes feels a little bit like the mafia. Once you're in, you're in.
Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in.
But the real sign there's no going back came not from the House of Windsor, but the House of Wax. Madame Tussauds London swiftly moving the separatists away from the rest of the fam.
It's important to us here at Madame Tussauds London that we always have our finger on the pulse, so we're just reflecting the decision that the couple have made themselves.
Of course, if Harry and Megx had just put their waxy doppelgangers in Buckingham Palace, it could have been months before anyone noticed they'd scarpered. All told, this whole thing seems like a pretty elaborate way to get out of your sister-in-law's birthday party. Oh, happy 38th birthday, Kate.
Royal commentator Victoria Arbiter joins us now from New York. Your dad is the former press spokesman for the Queen. He's furious. Where do you stand?
Well, yes, he's none too pleased, is he? But I think my reaction was probably quite similar to many people's, in that I was just completely stunned by this announcement. It's no secret that Harry and Meghan have been struggling. They've been unhappy in their capacity as senior royals for quite some time. So we all knew there was going to be some kind of shift. They were going to try and shake things up a little bit, try and find a way forwards in which they could fulfill their role and be happy at the same time. But this feels like they've just thrown everything out the window by saying not only are we stepping back as senior royals, but we're also going to be spending much of our time in North America. It's unprecedented.
The Queen says she wants this resolved quickly. Is there really much she can do? Does she have any power left? It seems like the horse has bolted here.
It does rather, doesn't it? And I think Harry and Meghan's horse has bolted for Canada by the looks of things. But I think the Queen is ultimately still the one in charge. She's the one that pulls the strings behind palace walls. But unfortunately, what's happened, because Harry and Meghan released this website that is incredibly detailed, but it does read rather like their wish list, none of these items were agreed in advance. So, yes, it's a lovely idea that Charles will continue to give them 95% of their funding. And, yes, it's a lovely idea that they'll be able to maintain Frogmore Cottage as their England base, but none of that has been signed off on just yet. So there's going to be a lot of discussion behind palace walls, but it's interesting that the Queen is keen to wrap this up as quickly as possible. Given how much there is to wrap up, it'll be interesting to see how soon they can get this done.
Victoria, do you think Harry's trying to protect Meghan here, but will he only make her a target for more hate in this process?
I think actually, Mark, there's no question that Meghan has been the target for hate, and she's also being the one largely blamed for this situation, and that's unfair. Yes, she's the newest one into the fold, and yes, she's been the one that's been at the centre of most of the controversial coverage, but Harry has made no secret of his struggles. But actually, I think people quite like Harry standing up for Meghan. He's the first royal that we've sort of seen stand up and man up and defend his woman and fight in her corner. So I don't think his standing up for her will bring more hate. It's just going to be how they navigate this path moving forwards. They've both said that they understand they may be vilified during this process, but clearly they want to put their relationship first, and maybe we should be commending that in a quite a dysfunctional royal family.
Your father must know what the Queen really thinks of Meghan. He'd probably share that sort of stuff with his family. Just let us in, would you? We won't tell anyone.
No. You won't tell anyone. No one's watching, right? Yeah, you won't tell anyone. I think the Queen has admired Meghan tremendously. This is a woman that fell in love with her grandson, gave up her country, gave up her job, gave up her career, gave up one of her dogs. One of her dogs was too old to come to the UK. I wouldn't give up my pets. So I think the Queen has admired Meghan tremendously. She doesn't want anyone having to sell their soul to the devil in order to carry out a role in which they've either married into or been born into. But at the same time, the Queen does take duty very seriously, and I think this probably hurts quite a lot.
Victoria, are you like me? Aren't we just all waiting for King George? Because that just seems like it's going to be fun.
I think so, yes, when he stomps around, because that's what Prince George likes to do. He stomps around quite a bit. He's a hoot. So I'm looking forward to Princess Charlotte growing up as well. She goes everywhere on her tiptoes, so she's bound to be entertaining.
Thanks for your time, Victoria. Much appreciated.
Thank you very much.
Well, staying with Megxit, and this morning Sunrise had an interview with Meghan Markle's sister Sam, who, by the looks of it, wants to exit the interview.
Well, it is sending ripples around the world, isn't it? Meghan's half-sister Samantha Markle joins us now live from Tampa in the United States.
It's like FaceTiming my mum after a morning mug of Kahlua.